welcome to FFR 1.6. Back in DC, back home, been here for a couple weeks and wanted to get another episode out. Meant to do it earlier, and I think the number one lesson learned for me from doing these vlogs is that I need to do them contemporaneously. I got to do that sort of run and gun, talk to the camera as I'm on site. Otherwise, when I get home, I'm looking at all this footage, I'm putting together the videos that I need to put together for the work I'm doing, but then all this extra stuff is just there and I'm not really sure what it means anymore. Getting this thing out has been difficult. I've tried numerous times.
Hey there, welcome to FFR 1.6, this time from Washington,
DC, but we're going to take a look back at Albstadt, Germany at the second stop for the World Cup mountain bike cross-country tour. I do want to just hit some highlights from the trip to Germany and give you a little more behind the scenes type activity, starting with the pit area. Pit area, not the technical zone pit where when the race is going on, but more just the tent area where the mechanics are, where the soigneur is located, where the team director is, also where the photographer and videographer, that's me, where we store all of our stuff and just sort of use it as a home base. Two mechanics that work for the Trek Factory Racing team, Alvaro and Matt, do an awesome job. You can see them here going through what they do every day, just making sure that the riders' bikes are all in shape, working great, making any adjustments that the riders want to make, making sure everything is tuned. Bikes are high tech, and they got them all dialed in, and it's pretty cool to watch. We're going to be putting out some video on those guys specifically in the coming weeks. You know, we're there all week. We're there Tuesday through Sunday, and Monday is usually a travel day, and it's the first couple days, it's really just like the riders are getting used to the course. If you're covering the race, if you're media, you're also out there getting used to the course. You know, we got Albstadt where they've put in some new features, done some different things, but it's really walking the course, getting different shots, figuring out how you're going to get from one space to another once the race starts, or the races start. So that's what we did. That's what we're doing Wednesday and Thursday, and also on Tuesday. One cool new feature that I think you've probably saw if you've seen the race footage is this drop that they put in. I was able to get a nice view of this. I think one thing that is a challenge, especially with video and also photography, is to sort of give you the idea of how steep these features actually are. When you see them on TV, you know, you're looking at it in two dimensions. You see it on a photograph, it's gonna flatten it out. It's gonna make it more level. You know, it's the same problem when you see GoPro footage, because the bike is slanting and the hill is slanting, so it doesn't look that steep. So it's trying to find a view that gave you really what is happening and what it really looks like, and I think I was successful in that. Here's a little clip of this new drop that they put in for Albstadt, and yeah, it's pretty sweet. After taking a look at that new drop, I headed into the woods. I really wanted to nail down some shots around these chicanes that are on the backside of the Albstadt course that I don't think really show up in the Red Bull coverage. You know, from what I could tell, they didn't have any cameras, any cameras on tripods up there. I didn't see any guys walking around with cameras in these sections, so it really was a good opportunity to show you some of the features that you may not have seen on TV. For you camera geeks, what I'm really trying to do here in these practice rounds is get low, get on the ground, try to get you that sort of ground level view. Using a Sony a6500, I got a 10-18 lens on it, and just zooming in and out as they come through, and it's really just trying to figure out that panning move where you're full out at 18, panning into 10, and then back up to 18 as they go along. And I think it turned out to be pretty sweet. We got shots here of Matthew Vanderpool coming through there, kicking up some fossils. We got Julian Absalon going off course, and just a slew of other riders. after all the previews done, let's head back to the tent. I had a video out earlier, I don't know if you saw it, it was a little drone footage, and in the beginning, Matt Opperman pretended to kick my drone, and I went back at a little kung fu kick. And once I had those sounds, we decided just to make our own kung fu movie. So here's me and Matt Delarme in our mountain bike warrior.
You deliberately set up an ambush, you damn bastard!
All right, one of the riders that showed up in Albstadt, as he has for the last 3 years, is a Trek-supported rider, Quinton Hermans, who is on the Telenet Fidea team. You know him better as the U23 European champion in cyclocross, showing up doing some mountain bike races. It was great to see him out there. Had a nice chance to chat with Quentin for a while, and then for broadcast just got about a minute or two filmed of him talking about his race and his day at Albstadt. And yeah, let's look at that one right now.
I've did Albstadt for 3 years now. It's my 4th year, and it was hard. I was starting really far back, but I made it up to 13th, 14th place. Last week I had a race in open, and it was more of like a forest than like mud ground, so I have really much grip, but the gravel here is so slippery, it's like riding on ice, and we don't have that conditions so much in cyclocross. We always ride in the field and with muddy conditions, so we always have much grip. And this is so like, I want to go every corner faster, but I was just like sliding all the time, so I didn't have much confidence, and the other guys were just like ripping it downhill. I just couldn't follow them. At the end I was totally wrecked, so I lost a couple of places, but I'm happy with 19.
All right, finally, big results for Trek on the day. Evie Richards won her U23 race. Just amazing effort by her, great result. And then also Anton Cooper just crushed it. 3rd place on the day behind Nino Scherter and Matthew Vanderpoel. Really stoked for Anton. And you know, it's cool we get to, at that point, since he's your rider, you're following him around, we're going to the podium, going first to the Red Bull podium, and then to the bigger venue podium, and then after that, you know, he's got to go to a press conference. I followed him into the press conference for a while just to get a little behind the scenes shots of that. It was an interesting scene because most of the reporters there want to talk to Nino. Obviously, he's the world champ, he's the guy, so everybody sort of crowded around him. One guy ended up talking to Anton, but other than that, he's just sort of sitting there hanging out, wanting to get back to you know, to clean up, to see his family, to do all these things and not sit here and not have anybody talk to him. So I decided eventually that I was going to go talk to him. Unfortunately, was not prepared to do that, didn't come in there looking for an interview, so I did not have the correct audio set up. So this is just straight audio to the camera. It does not sound that great, but we'll give you a little look at my impromptu interview with Anton Cooper.
I don't know, I love the Pro Car, I love the Top Fuel last week. It was the first time on the Top Fuel last week. But never missed it. It was definitely a fully course, and Albstadt's definitely a hardtail course, and ran some pretty skinny lightweight tyres here, and it worked. I felt like my strength typically is the descents, and maybe here with the longer climbs I would struggle a bit with just a normal setup, so I risked it a wee bit, and it paid off. I think it was one of the advantages I had. And just keeping smart, drinking lots and keeping cool, and I knew it was going to be a hell of a long race. I felt like, you know, at times I felt like I could push more and do more, and I was telling myself, you know, hold back, just don't do too much now, like this is overlaps kind of 3, 4, 5, because you'll pay for it at the end. And I think I was smart about that, because with the heat and just the climbing, it takes its toll in the end, and I think I timed my run kind of to perfection. I was just running out of gas on the last hill, and that's how you want the rest to be.
When you were setting up your preseason goals, World Cup podium, where was that on there?
was on there, but it was more a late season goal. You know, I felt like I had so much time off last year, and then the surgery that I had, man, I just feel like a different rider, a different person. And obviously the preseason results were great, hitting good numbers in training, and then hitting some great results in those early races. And it's given me a belief and very good self-confidence. And then these races as well, just like I'm feeling as the race goes on, I'm gaining more energy from it. Like just feeling like, hey, I'm up there with the likes of Nino and Absalom and Roddy Rowe, you know, and you're ahead of those guys at times, or fighting with them for the podium, and that's really special. So I think that gives you energy in the race, just to say, hey, I've finally arrived on the scene, and it's been a long while coming, but yeah, here I am.
All right, there you have it. That's it. FFR 1.6. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll be back in Europe in a couple weeks for Andorra, and then also for Lenzerheide. Those are going to be awesome races. Hope to get you some more coverage. Again, let me know what you want to see. Feedback at CXHAIRS.com. You can email me there. You can leave a comment below. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at CXHAIRS. Or, hey, call me up, 405 CXHAIRS. We'll play your call on the next vlog. All right, check you later.